It looks at me every day. Real hot takes. Oh boy, if it only knew how I felt about it. But it can never know. I made a choice once to live a life of responsibility. A life it can never be a part of. Who am I? I'm a podcast host, given a job to do. Welcome, everybody, back to episode 3 of the Real Hot Takes podcast. And today, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 from 2004, starring Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Hello, David. How you doing today?
I'm alright. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm waiting for Amazon to show up.
What did you order?
Don't Breathe. It's a horror movie.
Oh.
I'm excited.
Is it good? Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
Well, then why'd you order it?
Cause I want to see it.
Well, okay, wouldn't you just, stream it?
Okay, so we're gonna...
Let's talk about Spider-Man!
Okay. Spider-Man! Okay.
Watch out, world! Here comes the Spider-Man.
Okay. So I rewatched this recently. I rewatched the theatrical cut because Spider-Man 2.1, Mr. Aziz does not shout go the way I want him to.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna guide you, okay?
Okay. Maybe I'll just pull it up on my second screen, and then this can just be a 2-hour long commentary of me watching it.
No, we're not doing commentaries yet. That takes too long to edit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Alright. Well, I've seen it a lot of times, so I'll...
Do you want to do a commentary?
No, I don't want to do a commentary.
Okay, I was just checking. So this is the sequel to Spider-Man. Came out 2 years later. This is, in my opinion, is objectively the best movie in the trilogy.
Oh, for sure.
Would you agree?
I would say so.
As a movie.
Yeah.
But for me, it's always been my least favorite because when I was little, I didn't like how Spider-Man lost his powers for the main chunk of the movie, and that upset me.
I think it's cool.
And I couldn't I didn't really relate to his personal story, and I was like, I don't care, give me Spider-Man.
Oh.
But yeah, so the opening of the movie is, the pizza. He's a pizza delivery boy. He rides a moped. He's got to get 10 blocks in 30 minutes, or else your ass is fired.
And
that's what Mr. Aziz says.
His ass does get fired.
Yeah, because it was pizza time. But
she's not
he was late, and she's not paying for those, because why would she? Why would she pay for those?
Oh, I love that. I love the scene.
But and Spider-Man 2. Oh yeah, sorry.
I just don't know why he. I feel like.
Why doesn't he make it?
I feel like he could have made it, but.
If he went Spider-Man the whole time, yeah.
Well, he only did that for half of it, so.
And then he had to save kids' lives.
Oh yeah.
Because they're playing.
Doesn't he have
in the
that
street.
little one-liner? He's like, "Don't play in the streets, kids," or something like that. What does he say?
And something like that, just don't play in the street. And he's like, "Thanks, Mr. Spider-Man."
Yeah, I hate it.
Hey, he stole that guy's pizza.
Classic.
Okay. And then in Spider-Man 2.1, after he delivers the pizza, he starts to go out the window, and then the lady's the elevator's right there. So I think that's probably my favorite part. Oh, and the Jameson putting on the suit, but whatever. I watched the regular version. Okay. So yeah, Peter. He has to balance his life. He's living in an apartment.
Yeah.
And so he goes home for his birthday party with all his friends there, and Aunt May gives him $20 because he needs the $20.
Well, wait, doesn't something funny happen to the $20?
It does.
What
so
happens to
Peter
the $20?
Goes back to his apartment.
Oh yeah,
we meet the greatest character in cinematic history.
Yep.
Mr. Ditkovich.
Now. Is he what? I've never known what he's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be Russian?
Yeah, I think so. He's a landlord. And what's the line where he's if apologies were like crackers, my daughter would be fat or something like that?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Classic. She comes into play later.
Don't worry, we will get to Ursula at a later date when we cover Spider-Man 3. It's Ursula. That's her name.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You want a piece of chocolate cake?
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So Mr. Dickovich is like rent, and he's like, I only have a 20 for the rest of the week, and Mr. Dickovich stands up and just takes it.
And he yoinks it. And then Mr. Dinkovich gives Peter some great advice. He says, if you want a woman to fall in love with you, feed her poetry.
That's not Mr. Dickovich.
Oh.
That's Otto.
I know, it was a joke. It was a joke, Laramie.
Shut up.
What if there was a Spider-Man movie? Wait, wasn't Mr. Dinkovich supposed to be a bad guy in Spider-Man 4?
Let's say he was. Let's say he was the Vulture.
No, he was supposed to be like Kraven the Hunter or whatever his name is.
I don't think Mr. Dickovich is like a 50-year-old man. I don't think he could be Kraven the Hunter.
No, he was. I swear. Look it up. He was supposed to be the.
Well, Spider-Man 4 was gonna be wild.
He was supposed to be the villain in Spider-Man 4.
It was supposed to be wild. That's all. So yeah, in Spider-Man, like Mr. Dickovich takes the bathroom in front of Peter, even though he needs to go.
See, Mr. Dinkovich he's a simple man. Okay, he just wants.
We need a whole trilogy about Mr. Dickovich.
Or at least like a prequel movie. Or like a spin-off.
The guy that plays Mr. Dickovich is in Transformers 3, so it's like, hey, Mr. Dickovich. He's a Russian astronaut in Transformers 3.
Yeah. So, then we get, what happens after that? Is that when he...
Pretty much, he misses the play.
Oh, yeah, because MJ's on Broadway now or whatever, and she's a big shot.
Off-Broadway, yeah.
And
she's a big shot. And then we meet Bruce Campbell, who tells Peter to tie his shoes. That's Mysterio, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, and they won't let him in, because it maintains the illusion. Mm. And so, because that's where Peter is on his bike, and then he flips over a car, and the kids are like, how'd you do that? You know what Mom always says? Eat your green beans and vegetables. That's what my mom always says. Yeah. I just never believed her. Then let's just skip to where he meets Otto.
Skip.
I don't know. Skip. I don't know. I tried to take the notes.
Just fast forward in. Just fast forward in.
We're skipping to when he meets Otto, or maybe going backwards. I don't know. He meets Otto Octavius.
We get one of the greatest jokes in the Spider-Man trilogy.
That's a little later.
No.
The rubber band?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's when he tests the experiment. There's a first meeting where he eats dinner with them. And he talks about how Otto met his wife when she was learning English, and he was, and how he read her poetry. Because, David, would you like to take it away?
If you want to get a woman to fall in love with you, read her poetry.
Thank you.
That's what he said.
It's funnier if you have it like an inside joke forever, but yeah, it's a fun.
How long have we been saying that to each other, Laramie? Like 4 years now? 4 years almost?
3 years? Almost 4, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, because you watched them freshman year, right? That was like the first time?
I thought it was 8th grade.
I didn't really... 8th grade, your name was Dwight, remember?
Yeah. Shh, the people don't need to know that.
Okay, so Peter actually buys poetry books, or he learns them from the library because he's poor.
Right.
And then he reads them...
Whenever Peter goes to the library, bad things happen.
While he is washing his Spider-Man suit in the dry cleaners, the public dry cleaners.
Great place to wash your secret suit.
So, so he loses his powers
because he's sad.
I don't know. Why do you think he's losing his powers?
I think it's because he's sad.
I don't know. The doctor... I think it's because he doesn't have a clear focus in his life. Because the doctor is like, maybe you're not supposed to be Spider-Man climbing those walls.
Well...
I don't know if he's sad. It's more like he's trying to do too much at once. It's never really explained. It kind of just happens. It's more like he doesn't believe in himself.
I guess
really.
It's implied. It's kind of like a balance thing. He has to like balance his life as Spider-Man and Peter, which is stupid.
Yeah, because it's not like
he should just be Spider-Man all the time.
I don't know how he loses his like it doesn't really Spider-Man just doesn't lose his powers, which is interesting. Like it's cool that it does it, and it's the main part of the movie, and it's interesting. It's just the reason behind it is like I guess you got to find your own reason. Kind of like the briefcase.
That's what makes this movie beautiful.
Yes. He almost confesses to MJ that he's Spider-Man on the phone. Like she's listening to his message on the payphone, and then his time runs out, but then he tells her that he's Spider-Man, even though he's talking to the phone.
Right. Yeah, he probably should have just told her earlier.
Yeah, but... And then Otto, he found a large roll of $20 bills, and he was just wondering if anybody found the rubber band.
No, he's wondering if anyone...
Found... if anyone lost a large roll of $20 bills because they found the rubber band.
Yeah. Yes.
It's implying that they took the money.
That's funny. It is funny.
Fun. It's comedy.
Comedy.
And then we see Otto has the power of the sun in the palm of his hand.
I love that.
Because he's got the tritium, and he's trying to, I don't know, he wants to harness the sun's energy for some reason.
To do something evil, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not evil at the beginning. Then it goes crazy, and then like some glass shatters. His wife is murdered by glass.
And his inhibitor chip breaks.
Yeah, so listen to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the arms control themselves. Spider-Man saves the day. He saves Harry, but Harry doesn't like that because he has nothing left except Spider-Man.
Oh, don't we get the bank scene pretty soon after that?
Somewhat soon. But right before that is the scene where Ock is getting his arms cut off at the hospital, and you can see Raimi's influence on the scene. Like, that scene is, like, there's no music, it's just arms going at doctors with chainsaws and people getting stabbed in a superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's great. I was never scared by that, though. Like, I was scared by Venom's jump scare and Green Goblin's jump scare, but never arms stabbing doctors.
Well,
when I was little.
I think it's cool.
It's cool. I love it.
All
and
right.
then, bank. Peter and his aunt are at the bank for some reason.
Because she's poor.
Because she's poor, and they want a loan.
Yep.
But at least we get the toaster. Actually, that's only with a deposit of 30 or more, or something, or 300 or more. And the bank teller is Joe McHale, who does he's in sitcoms and stuff. I think that's funny. And he tries to pick up some money, and then Aunt May slaps him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But then Doc Ock steal it. I'm not a criminal. Because he's trying to he steals money to finance his evil doings, even though he doesn't really need it.
Isn't he rich? And he found a large roll of $20 bills. I mean,
yeah,
why does he need
that's
money?
enough for some. Yeah, I don't know why he needs money.
Um,
Spider-Man shows up to the rescue. This is a really cool scene.
Did Doc Ock know that Peter was Spider-Man at this point? Because, like, why would he grab Aunt May out of all people?
He just does. He doesn't know he's Spider-Man until the end of the movie.
So then why did he grab Aunt May? That just doesn't make it... That's so random, but whatever.
He grabbed her because she's old lady.
Oh, and she had her umbrella. And she
which is very important.
She's, like, hanging on the side of the roof.
Yeah. So Spidey shows up. He throws a bag of money at Doc. Here's your change. That's how it goes. Here's your change.
All Toby.
That's one of the few Toby Spider-Man quips in the entire franchise.
Yeah, he's not great at those. Leave it to Tom Holland.
No, Andrew has the good ones. Tom Holland has the bad ones.
Well, Toby has like none of them.
He has like 5, but he's still a cool Spider-Man. Okay.
You're the one who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
Out of your mind.
Yeah, see, you say that's good.
I like it. That doesn't mean it doesn't matter if it's good.
Alright.
Okay, the special effects in this movie are way better than the first one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just leaps and bounds better.
Because the first movie was such a amazing success.
That they got the budget.
Yes.
It's like like a lot of in the swinging scenes, there's not that many of them in the first movie. You can tell, but they're a lot better in this one, especially the fight with Ock on the side of the wall with Aunt May.
Yeah.
It's very well done. And then she beats Ock over the head with her umbrella.
As you do.
And then Spidey saves her, and then he's like, we sure showed him. And he's like, what do you? And then she's like, what do you mean we? Like she's trying to take all the credit for stopping Doc Ock, even though it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, and then MJ. Okay, we get to this part where Peter finds MJ, somewhere, and then he's talking to her, and then she's telling him how everyone she knows saw her show multiple times. Like, we get it.
Yeah, she's like, even Aunt May came and saw it. Shut up.
Aunt May saw it. Harry saw it twice. My boyfriend saw it 5 times. My dad saw it once. He went backstage to ask for some money. But you can't even make an 8 o'clock show. I was like, okay, we get it. He didn't make it. Sorry.
Listen, he's got better things to do. And,
he's Spider-Man.
He's got better things to do, and you suck. Okay, your voice didn't even carry past the first row.
Oh, he was great. You were in the first row. That's my girlfriend.
Wait, is that?
That's my uncle.
Is that this movie, or is that?
That's Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Whatever.
That's where she's on Broadway. It's like, I'm through with love. I'll never love again.
2 and 3 just blend together for me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Spider-Man loses his powers again, and he goes to the doctor. Okay,
what's
and it's
the
like
doc say?
He's telling the doctor about how he's 100% okay, and the doctor says he has a dream. Actually, it's a friend of mine's dream. And in this dream, he's Spider-Man, and he's climbing walls, but he's falling. Mm-hmm. And the doctor says, maybe your friend's not supposed to be Spider-Man climbing those walls. And then you cut to Peter in his bed, wide awake, Spider-Man, no more. And then he throws away the suit in the trash can, which is an iconic Spider-Man issue number 50 is where Peter Parker gives up being Spider-Man, and it's exactly like the scene in the movie.
Wow.
Like, they copied it, and it's great. So yeah, Spider-Man no more. and then Peter has, like, raindrops keep falling on my head. Like this montage of Spider-Man just doing all right in the world. Like, ladies are looking at him, and they're smiling. Yep. He's walking. He's eating a hot dog.
He's pressing his
when
pants.
The police cars go by.
He's doing his homework now.
Yeah. He shines his shoes. He presses his pants. He does his homework. He does his homework now. Do you want to get some chow mein?
I'd love that. I'd like a burger.
I like a cheeseburger. Okay. He confesses to Aunt May that he had the chance to stop Uncle Ben's killer, but he didn't.
So
and Aunt May's yes.
Sorry. So I know that we're about to get to it, but I think that scene is probably ultimately what allows him to get his powers back.
Letting go of that guilt.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, like
it helps a lot.
It just makes sense to me that that's what was holding him back, and by doing that,
part of what's holding him back. A lot of holding him back. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I don't know.
And then there's a burning building, which is a callback to the first movie, because buildings burn in both films. And there's a kid up there, so he uses his Parker power to save the kid in the burning building. Like, he leaps over this gap, and it's pretty heroic.
Pure Toby.
Somebody still died on the top floor, and he realizes if he was Spider-Man, he could have saved everybody.
Right.
So
that's when he.
And then he goes to Aunt May, and this little kid's helping her move, and he was like, "Is Spider-Man come back? Oh, he quit. He's coming back, right?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know." And Aunt May gives him a speech, and there's this really good line where she says, "Sometimes we have to give up things we want most, even our dreams." So I was like, yeah. And that encourages Peter to climb up a building and jump the gap. Because what?
Because I'm back.
I'm back! And he falls, he almost died. If he didn't get caught on that clothesline, he would have died.
It doesn't matter. He would have been fine. Pure Toby.
Pure Toby. That was actually was. No, just kidding. MJ compares her. She gets Jameson's kid, who she's engaged to. I skipped that. She's engaged to this
Doesn't
guy.
matter.
Doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. This guy's a
He's an astronaut
loser.
or whatever. Such a loser.
He should have came back in the third movie, because in the comics, that's how Venom gets on Earth, is because of his spaceship.
Really?
But whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, because he's an astronaut. So MJ compares his kiss to Peter, and she doesn't feel the same as that super stud
That's
Peter
when she
Parker.
realizes she needs Spider-Man.
Yeah. Powers back when he... Look at this. Look at this line.
Yeah,
Powers back when he realizes he needs MJ or something. I don't know.
See, it's unclear. I think it's the thing with him accepting Uncle Ben's death.
And because like the whole thing he says strong focus on what I want.
Yeah.
So like he's figuring out that he needs MJ, he needs to save her, and also that he's guilt free. J. Jonah Jameson has the Spider-Man suit at this time because he found it in the garbage.
Nice.
The trash guy found it in the garbage. So then Peter steals the suit back. J. Jonah is almost like coming around to Spider-Man as a hero. And then Spider-Man steals the suit, and he's very upset. He's like, I want Spider-Man!
Iconic, really.
Yeah. That's like a great line
Yeah.
you can use at any time.
Anytime.
Like, you just completed your math final. I want Spider-Man!
Just slap a 4 onto the end of it.
Spider-Man Far From Home comes out, and just don't say that.
Alright, next we get the legendary train scene.
Yeah, because Peter goes to save her. They deal it out. They get on a train eventually, which is an excellent fight. Peter like flies through this small little grate.
I think this is my favorite fight of the whole trilogy.
I love the final scene in 3 a lot.
I know you do.
Yeah, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But this is great. He flies through this bridge and he lands perfectly, and it's like this showdown. They fight for a little bit, and then he takes the octopus takes the brakes off the train.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna let the people die, or are you gonna save them all?
Toby's gotta save them.
He saves them all. He needs a lot of webs. He loses his mask,
But
and
the
he
people
tries.
don't snitch, 'cause they're cool.
He tries to web the wall, and he's like, "Any more bright ideas? I got a few. Yeah." And he uses more webs, and then you see pure Toby face expressions where he's pure 100% effort.
Yep.
Which that was 100%. They had one take. They're like, Toby, you need to stop this train. Okay, we have one take. Stop this train, or else these people die.
And he did.
So, and he stopped the train. Like because his powers were dormant his entire life, but then he realized he had a strong focus on what he wanted, so he was able to stop the train.
Wow.
Yeah,
Stop
that was
the
all
bus.
real.
Stop the bus.
Stop the bus, stop the train, stop the taxi cab from falling under Venom's web. It's a callback.
Yep.
The citizens stand up for Spider-Man. It's like, wow, he's older than my kid. And then he's like, wow. And then there's whole thing where they're about Octopus is getting up. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fight you. And he's like, oh, you have to go through me first. And all the people like get in front of Octopus, and he just kind of pushes them to the side. He's like, okay, whatever, sure. There's like this big moment, and he just kind of brushes them aside. So Ock delivers Peter to Harry, and then because that was part of the deal to get the tritium to make the machine.
Yeah.
Don't hurt Peter.
Peter.
So he gets Spider-Man. He unmasks him, and like this big whiplash as you see like Peter's face whip around really quickly with his bug eyes. It's kind of creepy.
It is.
But then he drops the knife. He drops the knife, and he realizes that his one true enemy is his best friend. He's like, and then Peter's like, "Shut up, Harry. You're being stupid. I didn't do it. We need to save MJ." And then he lets him go. That calls back to the third movie when Peter beats the crap out of him. So yeah.
So
Spider-Man goes to this water this area under the water. It's like I think it's just the shrunken area from the accident. I don't know where that is.
I don't know, but it's a really
It doesn't
cool. It's a really
matter.
cool fight scene again.
Yeah, and that's where MJ discovers that Peter is Spider-Man. That
Yep.
she loves the same man. Okay.
But Peter's
And
like, I can't be
then-
with you because it's dangerous.
Yeah, so he fights Dr. Octopus, which is it's a pretty quick fight. It's more dialogue and him throwing things than like a fight, because that already happened, really.
It's still cool though. Still cool.
It's still cool. He loses his mask.
Right.
And then decides that he's back, okay? Like the water short circuits his inhibitor chip.
Uh-huh.
And then he realizes that he has to drown it because he won't die a monster.
Yeah.
And then he dies, but he saves everybody.
Yay.
But then this banister is gonna fall on MJ, and he's like, and then there's Peter yelling, "Ah!" It's like the iconic Spider-Man yell. MJ! It's like this big yell out of nowhere, and then he saves her because he's Spider-Man.
Why do you have to save her? Would have been so much better if Gwen was in this trilogy.
I mean, she is.
Like,
She's in the third one.
okay, no, like real Gwen.
I mean, he almost went with her in the third one. I mean, there's nothing stopping him.
I mean, real Gwen.
Yeah. Okay, so Spider-Man swings away because he tells MJ he can't be with her because he's Spider-Man, you know? People are going to come after her.
Right.
Harry has a vision of his dead dad. We got Willem Dafoe comes back.
Woo.
For a scene where he's like, avenge me! Never! And he throws the knife at the glass and it
shatters,
breaks.
Yeah.
And he discovered, which is a great lead-in. I would have loved to see this movie in 2004
Yep.
and see him discover all the, like, oh my god, we're going to get watered-down Green Goblin in the next movie.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
For,
actually.
like, one scene. He's evil for one scene. But, even though the whole movie's billed as, like, this three-villain team-up. Whatever.
And Sandman sucks, but Venom's cool.
Sandman's a good character. Good arc.
Well, we can say that for
We'll
another
get to it.
episode.
Yes. So he discovers the Green Goblin stuff. He's about to go evil. Well, I forgot this next part this is the last part of the movie. I forgot this was even in. MJ leaves Jameson at the altar, and she runs through the city of New York in a wedding dress. Apparently, that guy that looks back at her is supposed to be the Punisher. I don't know.
What?
Cool. Let's say it is.
It's like in Iron Man.
And two, yeah. Oh, that's Peter. He afforded to go to the Stark Expo. Sure.
No. That's the second
That's
time.
not the line.
Second time in 2 episodes that we mentioned that.
Yep. I'll mention it again.
Oh well.
So there's a bad thing happening when she gets to Peter's apartment, and then she's like, "Go get him, Tiger," because that's a iconic. Whenever that's the line that MJ first says to Peter in the comics, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't work the same.
Whatever. He swings away.
Spider-Man swings away. You get the cool scene, and then the movie cuts, and you get Dashboard Confessionals. Excellent song. I am vindicated. I am selfish. I am wrong. You say I'm right. Swear I knew it.
Yes.
And I am flawed. Okay, it's a good song.
Sure.
But yeah, that's Spider-Man 2. How long is that? I feel like I went really. Yeah, it's about the same. Any thoughts on Spider-Man 2?
Good movie.
Thanks for the excellent analysis.
I'd give it a Tobey Maguire out of 10.
Yeah, and whatever you feel about Tobey, that's how you relate to that score.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the best movie in the trilogy as a movie, but
it's the best movie of the 21st century, and
it's one of the best superhero movies ever made.
It is the best superhero movie ever made, and join us back next week when we will be taking a look at something probably. Maybe.
Either Spider-Man 3 or something else.
Well,
but
yeah, maybe Baby
I don't know.
Driver.
We gotta get another guest on here.
Pulp Fiction.
But one of those two would be a good one.
Probably.
But
Alright.
because like we build this as like a guest oriented, and we put 2 in a row. It's just us. Like we got to bring the fire
Well,
back.
our friends don't really like us.
That's true, especially me.
You have a hard enough.
Um,
You have a hard enough time getting me on this podcast. Okay.
Yeah, I know. You know, this was your idea.
Well, listen. Sometimes I get bored and I just
It's true. I try. It's hard to get you to do things.
Well.
All right. I'm leaving all this in, by the way. Thank you for listening to Real Hot Takes, and it's pizza time somewhere. Thank you for listening.
Right. Goodbye.